Abandoned by my family, my deaf stepbrother and I found the love no one wanted us to have. No one expects the Omega to survive when he's thrown out of his own home. Even fewer expect him to fall in love with the boy who never speaks. The night I turned 17, my father kicked me out with a Bible in one hand and a trash bag full of my clothes in the other. "No son of mine is gonna be an Omega, let alone a goddamn fag," he hissed. My mother stood by, her lips pressed so tight they disappeared. My scent was thick with fear, my heat cycle creeping in early from stress. I had nowhere to go. Except him. Liam was my stepbrother. My mother married his father 2 years ago after hers left. Liam was already 17 back then. He was quiet, never angry, always calm. Deaf since birth, but he didn't need words to see things no one else did. I was the secret my family buried. He was the one who dug me out. When I showed up on his porch that night, soaked from the rain and shaking from cold and panic, he didn't say anything, just opened the door and pulled me inside. He didn't even ask what happened. He never had to. The first few weeks were quiet. Liam lived in the guest house behind his father's property, far enough away that no one really checked in on him. His dad traveled for work, and my mother pretended Liam didn't exist like she did with me. He wrote on a small whiteboard when he wanted to tell me things, but mostly he just used his hands. And his eyes. God, his eyes. They told me I was safe. They told me he understood. They told me I wasn't disgusting. The world didn't make room for people like me. An unmated Omega, rejected by his own blood, unwanted by every alpha I'd ever met. I was fragile and unwanted. But Liam, he looked at me like I mattered. He wasn't an alpha, just a beta, but he was solid. He smelled like pine and laundry soap and summer rain. His presence calmed me, even when my body betrayed me. Heat cycles crashing through like violent storms. I tried to hide them, but he always noticed. And when he did, he never stared, never judged, just brought me water, painkillers, a warm blanket. One night I broke. The pain was too much. The loneliness clawed through me, heat devouring every ounce of dignity I had left. I collapsed in the kitchen, curled on the cold tile, crying so hard I couldn't breathe. Liam found me there, and I'll never forget what he did. He didn't try to fix me. He just knelt beside me, rested his hand on my back, and let me sob. His presence said what his voice couldn't. "You're not alone. You're not broken. You are loved." It was the first time I believed it. I wish I could say things got easier. They didn't. We had to keep our connection secret. Not because of what we were. Omega and Beta weren't an impossible match, but because of who we were to each other. Stepbrothers. Legally unrelated, but in this town, in this family, it was unforgivable. I wasn't allowed to exist, and he wasn't allowed to love me. My mother found out one day. She came to the guest house, uninvited, eyes blazing with suspicion. She saw the laundry basket with both our clothes, the 2 toothbrushes, the silence, the way I leaned into him. She didn't scream. She just looked at me like I was filth, like Liam had caught something from me. "You'll ruin him," she whispered. He stood between us before I could even speak. Calm, steady, like always. But the message was clear. "You won't ruin him. He saved you." That night she told his father. And his father told the church. Suddenly we were a stain on the town. The preacher called us abominations. Strangers stopped speaking to us. We lost the little work we had. Grocery store clerks ignored us. People we grew up with crossed the street when they saw us coming. We were invisible, but to each other we were everything. The worst day came in spring. We'd been planning to leave for months. I got a job offer in Oregon from someone I met on Linea Queer-owned bakery that didn't care what I was, only what I could do. We were saving up, quietly packing what little we had, counting the days. Then someone set fire to the guest house. We barely made it out. I lost everything. The last photo of my real dad. My journals. My drawings. Liam lost his hearing aids. They weren't covered by insurance. We couldn't afford new ones. We stood in the ash of what was once our home, watching the flames die with everything we had built. And for the first time I saw Liam cry. He didn't make a sound. But I saw it, and it broke me in ways words can't touch. That night, I held him the way he'd held me all those months ago. I traced every freckle on his back, every scar on his hand, and whispered into his skin, "We're still here, and we're leaving." We made it to Oregon. It wasn't easy. We slept in the car, took showers at gas stations, worked double shifts. Liam found a used pair of hearing aids through a charity. I baked. He repaired bikes. We found an apartment no one else wanted and filled it with plants and string lights and music he couldn't hear but said he could feel through the floorboards. We were poor, exhausted, unknown, but we were free. One night, after closing the bakery, I came home to find Liam on the floor of our tiny kitchen. There were candles, a notebook in his lap. He handed it to me. "You saved my life too." I looked up. He smiled, then signed, slowly, "Will you be my mate?" I didn't need pheromones. I didn't need a bond. I just needed him. "Yes," I whispered. People still stare sometimes, but they see something else now. Not pity, not disgust. Just two boys who weren't supposed to survive, holding hands like it's the only truth that ever mattered. Because it is. We found love in the silence, and that silence saved us. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.